Hey, hey, I know you. Speech class. So speech one, that monkey is off our back. I'm so excited for you. I really am. My hope now is that we can move towards speech number two, or as they say in Spanish, speech dos. oh, I'm coming to you live from my office here in Mendota. Mendota Heights. Here, let's go on a tour. Let's go on a tour. Ooh, there's some maps. There's some maps of the boundary waters. Every campsite I've ever been on is pinned out up there. There. Ooh, what's this? What's this? Ooh, it's a window. Oh man. Look, deer antlers right there on my head. Deer antlers. Okay. Hi. Speech one done. Speech two. The difference between speech one and speech two, if I can be so bold, campers, this next one's relatively the same with one exception, and that is the word researched. Researched. So that word is going to cause all sorts of little differences, little nuances, and I'm going to say this right off the bat. In this speech, you are going to have to cite sources that you find when you do your research. You're going to have to cite sources 15, 19, 26 different times during the course of the speech. Some of those are going to be big hit source citations. We'll talk about those. Some are going to be little tag hits, little hit source citations, if you will. We're going to talk about those. But you know this next one's going to be a researched speech. Now, here's the beauty of that. The beauty of that is that, honestly, quite frankly, it'll give you a chance to grow your brains, give you a chance to learn stuff, maybe about what you already love, what was already maybe in your funnel page. All right, we'll come back to that, but listen, there's all sorts of stuff that we can learn. If you heard something the other day and you thought, what the heck, what's he even talking? Well, we could formulate a research question, but now let me chat with you. We have done you a disservice, a huge disservice in this school. We have told you that you're doing research without really the first and the most foremost of the processes of research. We have told you that you're doing research without letting you form a research question. And this is what bugs me. This is what really bugs me. There's a lot of things that bug me, but here's one of them. Here's what bugs me. Your social studies teachers, God, I love these people, but sometimes they bug me. Here's why. We send you to the library to do research when all you're doing is backing up some pre-hypothesis that we've created or a thesis statement that we've already handed you. We've told you that your tanks had a significant impact on World War II. Now go research that. Well, lo and behold, ooh, magic, like a week later, after all the research, you find out, well, tanks had a significant impact on World War II. Duh. All right. So here's what honestly what I'm going to do that not a lot of other teachers do, besides weird eyes. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you formulate your own research question. Now this is huge. All right. You get to research what you want to research. And if you're still into tanks, and I know who you are, if you're still into tanks, go ahead. Okay? But this gives you a chance to grow a bigger brain. All right, let's talk about that research question because that's really the homework. All right? It's going to be the homework. A good research question. All right, number one. A research question has to be something that is answerable. And you might think, oh, that's so. But no, listen, listen. A research question for a high school 5-minute speech needs to be answerable. Okay? Do not ask the research question, who really assassinated John F. Kennedy? Okay, listen. Listen, if they haven't been able to figure that out yet, or if it's buried so far down in the archives, nobody's going to know. If they haven't been able to research that and figure that out yet, you are not going to get online, you know, you are not going to Google and all of a sudden like, oh my God, I know. Okay, the research question is pretty pretty good idea if it's answerable and not like this crazy enigma kind of question like, who is God? Okay, all right, leave those alone. Leave those alone until you're doing research in philosophy class. Okay, it has to be answerable, and honestly, quite frankly, it has to be. This is the second point now. How to formulate a good research question. Number one, pick one that's answerable. Number two, pick one that you can answer in 5 minutes. 3 or 4 major parts, 5 or 7-ish minutes. Okay? So good research questions have an answer, and they're answerable in 5 or 7 minutes. Okay? So here's an example of one that's not answerable in 5 or 7 minutes. Let's pretend you're really interested in World War II. Do not answer. Do not ask the research question, how can we better understand everything there is to know about World War II? Don't. Because here's why. That answer is going to take you a lifetime of looking, and the speech is going to be 4,365 days long. All right? Nor should you ask a research question that will give you a speech like, this big. Okay, don't ask the research question like, what year did Michael Jackson die? Because, okay, listen, that answer's like, that's a 3-second speech. Okay? All right. So it has to be answerable. It has to be answerable in like 3 major points, 5 to 7 minutes. All right, here we go. The third part of asking a good research question for my class is, will you have quality sources that you can quote? Will you have quality sources that you can quote? Will you be able to go down and track the unbiased source work? Will you be able to go down and get the quality source work? If you're asking questions, okay, listen, you could ask the question, are there aliens that walk among us? Okay, but I don't suggest it. Okay, number one, it's really not answerable. If we haven't come to a definitive answer right now, you're not going to Google and figure this out. Okay, number two, but number two, you will find sources. You will find sources that say aliens walk among us. But it's not going to be NASA. Okay? It's going to be like Celeste's Martian homepage. There's some woman living in a cave in Montana wearing tinfoil hats because she's been probed. She's been abducted. She knows that the aliens walk among us, and she made a web page. Okay, listen, campers, there'll be no quoting Celeste's Martian homepage in my class. All right, number one, does it have an answer that you can find in research? Number two, is it answerable in 5 or 7-ish minutes? And a lot of topics are. Number three, does it have incredibly good quality sources? The research question should also be number 4, something you care deeply about. And I'm not joking, something you care about. All right? It has to be something that really, quite frankly, maybe it was already in your funnel because that's how much you care about it. And maybe there's a piece or two that you don't know. Okay? So, really, honestly, quite frankly, go find out more about the stuff you already love, or you've been interested for a long time, you just have never been given the opportunity. I'm giving it to you now. The opportunity. All right, here we go. The last thing I want to talk to you about, besides, is it answerable? Is it answerable in 5 minutes? Does it have quality sources that can back it up? And do you really care about it? The last thing I'll tell you is it absolutely fundamentally cannot be persuasive this time. It can't be. Because I haven't taught you Neo-Aristotelian. Ooh, look, this is fun. I haven't taught you Neo-Aristotelian persuasion yet. Okay? When we do, then you can go persuasive on me. Until then, this is an informative speech. And I've seen a ton of great informative speeches about the stuff you already care about. Research question: how can we better understand the evolution of the game of hockey? Okay? Great topic. Research question: how can we understand the toy known as the Barbie doll? Research question. After research question, right? Whatever you're interested in, as long as, number 1, you don't already know it. Number 2, you care and you want to get a bigger brain. Okay? For instance, take a look now. Take a look, because I'm apt to write one with you. So here, take a look at my funnel page from last time. Right? Let's watch it. Drop in. Okay, now listen. Look at all the stuff there in my funnel page. Travel, cars, teaching, sort of teaching, books and movies and hiking and cooking and etc. Look at what I've done. I circled boundary waters for the last speech. Dare I do it again? Well, yeah, listen. If you remember correctly, in my mind map that was up on the whiteboard, I had like the log cabins and the foundations and the abandoned railroads that I've stumbled on, and the mining equipment that I've stumbled on in the boundary waters. And I know it has a rich history, but I just don't know anything about it. I got nothing. So guess what I want to do? I want to research. And I want to research the research question that fell out of the bottom of my funnel. Look at it. Boing! They fell out the bottom. How can we better understand the history of the boundary waters? Now, here's a question, and I'm just going to tell this to you. Listen, when you find the answer to your research question, it becomes a thesis statement. Oh yeah, it does. Listen, when I find the answer to the question, how can we better understand the history of the boundary waters, it becomes a thesis statement when I put it in a sentence with a capital at the start and a period at the end. Listen, once I do all of the research indicated by my fingers, once I do all of the research, okay, I formulate a thesis statement, a simple statement. If my question is, how can we better understand the history of the boundary waters? My statement might be, we can better understand the history of the boundary waters if we know 3 significant time periods. Wow, that speech is going to write itself. Right now, the first significant time period we need to know to better understand the history of the boundary waters is 1900 through 1925. The second, oh my God, it's a cakewalk. Listen, research question. How can we better understand the history of the boundary waters? I'm going to go do the research. There it is again. And then I'm going to find out. And then I'm going to block it off. And then I'm going to tell you, we can better understand the history of the boundary waters if we know about 3 significant time periods. All right, here's your homework. Here's your homework. Get back into the funnels. Get back into the pick up a laptop and look at the news. Look at the news. Other than this, what do you call it? Because I can't remember. It's not, and nobody's talking about it. Oh, this COVID-19 stuff. Other than that, okay, pick up the laptop and look at the news. See if there's something you're interested in. I had a kid do this once, and he came back and he said, "Joswiak," he goes, "What's a blood diamond?" And I said to him, "Dude." He goes, "And what about these, like the new African slavery movement, blood diamonds?" Well, I said, "Go look." So he gave an informative speech. He could have saved it for his persuasive speech, but we do not want to be persuasive here. All right, your homework: a 1-question quiz. You'll see it in the folder. You'll see it in the folder with this link. A 1-question quiz. What is your research question? Have that done by tomorrow. All right, keep your stick on the ice. I'm rooting for you. And, if people don't find you handsome, they should at least find you healthy. All right? Have a great and glorious day.